Kia ora, I'm Sherry Kinnear and these are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. The government's being urged to scrap border controls once Omicron becomes more widespread. Cabinet meets today to likely discuss reopening to the rest of the world and whether the date should be pushed back even further. Tourism industry Aotearoa spokeswoman Boris Johnson doesn't see the point of keeping borders closed as Omicron spreads further.
It does appear that if the pandemic follows the similar pattern that we've seen overseas, keeping the borders closed to keep the variant out is simply going to be useless because it's already in the community.
Some employers are effectively forcing staff to lock down and not make inter-regional journeys. Travel anywhere in the country for any reason is currently allowed at all traffic light settings. However, some workers are being strongly discouraged from doing so to minimise the risk of them getting infected. But the Employment and Manufacturers Association says it shouldn't be happening, and as long as people take appropriate precautions, there's no reason they can't travel around the country. The average asking price for a home has now breached the $1 million mark. Realestate.co.nz data shows the average has more than doubled in the past 10 years. Last month again showed rapid growth around the country, with prices in the Gisborne region seeing an almost 20% jump. The government's new top tax rate is hitting more people than expected. The 39% rate for high earners was introduced in April last year and applies to anyone earning $180,000 a year. At the time, the IRD estimated it would affect around 75,000 taxpayers, but figures obtained by the Herald show it's actually 119,000. A children's charity is worried some kids will have a tougher start to the school year than others. KidsCan says many low decile schools will have smaller roles this year because parents simply can't afford the basics. It's calling for donations as COVID-19 and the rising cost of living add to already high stress levels for families. They say some parents are being forced to decide between buying a school uniform and putting food on the table. In world news, Boris Johnson has offered his apologies following a damning new report into lockdown parties at Downing Street. The report has found serious failings at the heart of the British government, both inside Number 10 and the Cabinet Office. While Johnson isn't admitting any wrongdoing, he says he's sorry for what happened and changes will be made.
But firstly, I want to say sorry. And I'm sorry for the things we simply didn't get right, and also sorry for the way that this matter has been handled.
And record high COVID deaths and thousands of hospitalisations are raising alarm about the ability of New South Wales hospitals to cope with the current scale of the pandemic. Sunday was the deadliest day for the state during the pandemic, with 52 deaths. Of those, 31 were aged care residents. And those are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. For more and to stay up to date, head to nzherald.co.nz. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.